Hey guys, so this is a update video on the progress of my game, ethex 2080. Very early days yet. I've done a lot of the functional coding. As you can see, I've got the title screen working, and immediately after the title screen runs, there's a short video entree that's just going to set the scene for the character awakening in this tabula rasa situation where she's lost all her memory and has to piece the evidence together to discover a plot against her by underworld figures. And of course, being an advanced futuristic story, these underworld figures have cybernetic implants and all kinds of evil goodies to help them advance their dastardly cause. So our hero has to figure out how to put these guys away, and it's more about an investigation story, so a little bit like your police procedurals, if you like. So here she is waking up. I've turned the music down because it's a bit hard to talk over it otherwise. And here we see the beginning story. Obviously not all the views and scenes are fleshed out just yet, but this is mostly just to give you an idea about what the gameplay looks like and what all the pieces do. So all the screens are these pre-rendered 3D scenes with 2D artwork over the top, and the UI is basically these tabs here, combined with being able to tap on the screen to pick items and interact with them. Okay, there's a lot of text. I really love the old adventure stories where we had quite a bit of explanation, setting the scene, and that text is just displayed in an alpha blended overlay. But it's also fairly graphic. You should be able to solve most of the puzzles without really referring to the text. You can move the character around the room by tapping on the floor, and hopefully we can pick things up and add them to the inventory. Okay, so as I said, this is a bit early days, but we've got a score screen here that shows the main game scores. Each room has a number of items, and sometimes an item will have a memory associated with it. This is going to help our hero add to her lost memory. She starts off not knowing much at all about what's happened, about why there's blood on the pillow and so forth, and she has to investigate to discover what is actually happening. And throughout the game, as her memory increases through finding items, she gets new insights into what led her to this situation. There's also a will score. If you guys have played Dungeons and Dragons, this is a little bit like the old charisma or will and all these other scores that allow you to actually overcome personal, the effort required to actually overcome individual problems and dominate other characters in the game. So in this game, she's very weakened when she awakes, and a lot of the game is actually our hero uncovering why it is that these dire events have occurred, and why she should even bother trying to set things right and to search for justice. Obviously also there's health. There is not really combat per se, but there are physical dangers, and there are a few foes that want to attack you in the game, so that's tracked there. There's the game time, and there's also a hints system. It's a standard sort of game menu where you can save and restore, quit from the game change the music settings. As I mentioned, there's our story there. You can open that at any time to see what's happened. Here's our inventory listing, showing the pillow. There's a few glitches here and there. As I said, this stuff is early days, but when the inventory fills up, the idea is to be able to grab that and operate on it, contents of the room with that item. She has a case book where accumulated evidence will appear. And finally, there's a navigation system, so there'll be a map in this part of the UI showing other rooms that have been explored, and also a quick button to allow going to different parts of the scene. In each room there may be additional views, so let's just see if we can examine this. No, that didn't work. I'll go to a different view. Okay, so here we're looking at the high window, which has some additional text associated with it there. There's a screwdriver. We can examine items to see what they look like. There's going to be some buttons here to allow you to interact and operate on the item. And obviously you can move around to different rooms and visit different parts of the scene. Okay, so that's where we're at, and I hope you guys are all looking forward as much as I am to when we can finally publish ethex 2080. Thanks for listening.